All right, just going to run some commentary from a race I did on the 11th of August. This is a Group 4 race at the 24-hour Nürburgring, Group 4 cars. And as you can see, it's a wet weather race, starting in fifth position. Not a great place to start, but all top six guys were A+, and behind that all A drivers, mainly Japanese. I think I was the only Aussie in this lobby. This is really good race because I love these cars and I love this circuit and I don't mind it when it's raining too. So we're on intermediate wet tyres here and the race is about to start. V3 in the Lamborghini Huracan is weaving and might have just missed the start and snuck through to fourth position already. I think position three is already struggling uh, and a tick zero. Maybe he went on a full wet tyre. You can see the left-hand side of the track. We've got a wet track meter. That's a little gauge. At the moment, it's down low, but the rain looked very heavy when I started. I think it's going to rain even heavier. So I've started on intermediate wet tyres instead of full wets, hoping they'll see us out. Challenging this guy already. He's obviously pretty quick, but maybe not used to the wet. He's only been qualifying in the dry. Up ahead we have a Ferrari and a GTR. A Ferrari 458 with 319 horsepower and 1410 kilos. The GTR, specs for that here somewhere, is a 339 horsepower, 1460 kilo. And the G70, which is a Genesis, which myself and Nanatic are in, is 332 horsepower and 1411 kilos. So we're Ferrari's lighter, we're aerodynamic. The GTR is heavier, we're more powerful. The Genesis is somewhere in the middle. The Genesis G70 that I've already overtaken, old mate, and probably put it in the wall. But holding position and very lucky not to be rammed from behind by him. Driving very carefully here, but also already gaining on the Ferrari. See with the advantage of all-wheel drive, Fly Junior, myself, and Nanotic. Whereas Hal Hu in the Ferrari is struggling with two-wheel drive. Decided to tuck in behind him here instead of go for the move yet. An anomaly on the Gran Turismo tracks is that further back you are, the drier the track is because the cars in front dissipate the water. So being in second or third position isn't necessarily a disadvantage when you're racing in the rain. So different strategies. This corner here is a very tricky corner, taking it at over 210 kilometers an hour and then hard on the brakes to the right-hander. A bit of a slide, all our cars there, but we all make it through fairly unscathed. And Nanotic behind has actually given up a position to another Japanese driver. Not all Japanese drivers or Chinese this time of the day, or I think it might have been quite late at night. Japanese drivers all get on after the 8-9 o'clock mark PM Sydney time. But now I've gone right in on Ho and I've gone inside him and I think I've given him a hit and he's spun. So I'm sorry about that, Ho. It's going to hold me up. So I've had to get past him. As you can see, just revving this car out just to the rev limiter, not anywhere past it. Best way to drive this car. All-wheel drive gives you a lot of confidence in this car. G70. I'm going to go the whole lap on board driver's position. Show you what it's like to be in the cockpit, having to steering inputs. As you can see on the left-hand side now, a bit of a slide there for me. The rain meter has now gone up to 2/3. So this is the point where the intermediate wets on the slide there. Just under brakes, the car just wants to crack the rear end out, and I run the brake bias to the rear, 3 to the rear. I like to be able to slide the back out under brakes, get the front to turn in more. And then Fly Junior just did a big wobble there, and now gives me the chance to start gaining a few tenths on him. A little bit more spread out now, the pack behind me. Fly Junior, obviously starting on pole, had the fastest time. So obviously the fastest driver here on this track in this car, and doesn't seem to be at all shy that he's in the wet, giving it full beans, sliding it around, using all the track. This is where the G70 is probably a bit better than the GTR. Up the hill, has probably a bit more torque, it feels. And I'm in the slipstream and taking advantage of him drying out the track slightly in front of me. So caught him nicely there on the straight, and really right within under half a second of him here, I'd say. This corner here catches everyone out, and it caught both of us out too. We both went very deep, very wide, and the McLaren behind me almost closed in the gap. Obviously, the lighter weight two-wheel drive cars. This is the carousel. Coming through the carousel, just using a lot of patience. Don't get on the power too early, or else you'll regret it. Like I said, the two-wheel drive cars probably can brake a lot later than the four-wheel drive cars can because they're lighter. But you've got more stability in the four-wheel drives, and also better drive out of the corner. Across the top here of the track, the Notchcliff, aptly named the Green Hell for obvious reasons. Green strips of grass either side that you do not want to touch. Wet weather conditions like this, you're really using all your skills and making sure you don't go over the limit. Everyone being pretty clean up on the curve there and out on the mud. Left tyres have probably got some mud on it, so back to third gear. There's a fast left-hander where you can run wide and go across the grass, across the mud in this case. And down through these very fast right-handers. Closing in to the end of the first lap almost. About 5/8 the way through the track now, coming across this very fast section where you're almost holding flat until this corner here. I'm taking it very easy, making sure I'm not going to touch this guy at all, cause any dramas. I think a touch would mean a crash for both of us, either through the mini carousel or the Klein carousel. Leading up to my least favourite corner of the track, this right-hander onto the Dottinger straight, where really you can come in too hard and just hit the wall and completely ruins your entire lap. The rest of the straight, you do not want to be coming onto this straight. It's a very long straight, you do not want to be coming on slow. And this is where you serve your penalty too, so you don't want a penalty. As you can see, I'm in 5th gear and I'm going to change it into 6th gear probably around now, yeah, instead of revving it out, because I'm in the slipstream. My car's still accelerating and his isn't. And I'm going to hit the top of this hill and pull out of the slipstream and sail right by. So that was very well managed to get slightly in front, and he's pulling in behind and letting me have the position. Thank you there, Fly Junior. Oh, then he hits me. On the brakes, on the brakes, on the brakes. Now remember to compulsory pit stop in this 2-lap race, so all of us need to come into the pits, whether we do anything like change tyres or fuel. But in this case, the track is staying very wet. We're all on intermediate wet tyres. None of us are going to change tyres, and none of us are going to take any fuel. There's no tyre wear affecting these tyres because it's so wet. So I'm just going to do a stop go basically. There we are, and we're off again. And I'd say everyone did the same except for some Japanese guy has neglected to pit, and someone's out in first position now. He will not stay in first position because he will be serving a 1-minute penalty for skipping the mandatory pit stop. And that means he'll be in the back of the pack pretty much. And the front pack are going to be a lot faster. We'll probably close in on him. I can see him up ahead on the track map there on the right, top right. And I've got a little lead here. Now, having a lead, as I said earlier, is not that advantageous. Sometimes it's better being second. As you saw, I was able to capitalise on second position the last lap. Either that or run out in front and get away. So really, the 3 guys behind me all were faster qualifiers, and all technically are faster drivers than me. However, this is wet conditions, and that equalises. And I'm very happy to say, enjoying this, doing very well. Coming through the sections, there's a yellow flag up ahead. There's no overtaking. Coming into the Sabine Schmidt corner, I believe it's called now, and coming onto the Nordschleife off the 24-hour circuit, the GP circuit, and we're now heading into our second and final lap. Just going to jump out of the car now. Hopefully you enjoyed that cockpit view, but now we're going to the external view of the cameras, and as you can see, Rock the Rock leading the front runners pack here nicely with a very fast Japanese Fly Junior behind, and Huai in the in the Ferrari is also still in there. Didn't really upset his race too terribly by touching him in the first lap, but he was definitely holding us up. Here we are closing on the back marker who decided not to pit. This is a straight, flat whole way. Probably make it up to about the 235 km/h mark before we have to back up here. Come through this left-hander, which is so fast and so easy to get wrong. And then another right-hander, corner, third gear, second gear. And Fly Junior went on the outside, and I just backed off and let him go because I was not going to fight him for position there or run him off. And Ram Kennedy, or R4 Kenneth rather, behind me with a half-second penalty now, which will really ruin his race because it served on the beginning of the Dottinger Straight, which really is more like 1.5 seconds penalty. It's got sideways there, and we're closing in on the lead McLaren now. And I'm happy to let Fly Junior run the track for me. And I'm just going to stay right on his tail. Very hard in the spray, not being able to see. I don't run the wipers because I run bumper view, so I'm down on the bumper when I drive, so I don't need the wipers on. There's a lot of cars close behind. We're all now bunched up. And we're not holding these people up. They're just able to drive faster because they're running on a drier line. I don't know what's happening here, but Fly Junior and myself must be right on the back of this back marker. There he is, still up ahead of the McLaren. He's going to be holding us up. through the carousel. Oh, not the carousel, sorry. That banked corner before. Now on the uphill. And something's happened to the McLaren because he's no longer in sight. Must have jumped out or quit. Fly Junior is doing a great job of leading. Very confident driver, very fast. High A plus ranking. I'm sure he's going to get a lot of good points this week. I really like the G70 Genesis for this particular format. Wet weather. It's a bit heavier than the two-wheel drives, but very stable, very confident in it. Ferrari now holding up the 5. It's another Genesis G70. The P123 all within half a second of one another. Coming through this very fast section. And look at that slide from Fly Junior. That was the end of that big uphill straight, and now coming to the carousel now. Things can go terribly wrong if people decide to brake too late, which I did. Give him a bit of nudge, but I backed off and let him get back in front. I flashed him just to let him know. Sorry about that. As I said earlier, this is all strategy because being in the tow on that long straight can be the difference between winning and losing. This R4M Kenneth is really on my tail. I don't know why he's so aggressive. He's not going anywhere. And he's got a half second penalty. So even if he does get in front of both of us, we're just going to sail straight by him. Very messy. Lots of different racing lines there as the cars slide and catch water and puddles. He's trying to go around the outside of me here. Fly Junior is getting that thing sideways. He really is sliding it around. Very good driver. But not fast sliding around. We are back on his tail, right on his tail. Very hard to stay this close and not hit. So I prefer to just hang back a little bit, brake a bit earlier and accelerate out of the corners a bit harder to make my time up. Down the straight, you want to be as close as possible. This is a fantastic race, really. Yeah, Fly Junior really got a bit messy there. He went across the grass, and I'm now giving him a bump draft, as they call it in the game, where you draft them and push them. It actually sometimes benefits both of you. Really worried Kenneth is going to run into me, but he hasn't. Coming up to the mini carousel now, nearing the end of this mini carousel. Running up to my least favourite corner again, the right-hander onto the Dottinger straight. And holding position nicely and well within striking range. Now come off that corner really quick and you'll watch R4M Kenneth have to serve his penalty here at the penalty marker, and you'll see his car, it basically hits the brakes. You can see him drop right back now. And I have already hit 6th gear very early. And the bastard Fly Junior is weaving all over the track trying to break my toe. However, it's all for nothing. Got a great run onto the straight. Already doing 240 k's an hour, which is a good 3 kilometers an hour quicker than he was when I pulled out of the slipstream, and able to overtake him comfortably without a touch. Now breaking into the final section of the track. Luckily no mistakes. Powering out of the corner to the start-finish line. Rock the Rock takes the lead. Very happy with that win. 4 A+ beat, and I think I didn't get a clean race because I think I touched someone, but pretty happy. Back down to the lower positions, all great Japanese drivers, I'm sure. Some of the names I can't read or pronounce. And last position there, well back in the field. But thank you, Fly Junior. That was a great race. See yous.